All right, it's now time for Law and Order JA. You know how long I've been waiting to do that? Good morning, Khadine Hylton. Joining us this morning to give us counsel is Jonathan Morgan, partner at Duncox Attorneys at Law over there on Duke Street here in Kingston. The Sunrise viewer question this morning is, I've been delinquent on my mortgage payments for 3 months now, and my sister has been delinquent on her loan for 4 months. We both have been in good standing prior to, but due to unforeseeable circumstances, we have lapsed in our payments. How should we approach this? How will it affect us in the future? Jonathan, let's begin by understanding what area of law this falls under. Is this contract? Is this administrative? What area does this fall under?
So it is contract law, but a specific type of contract law. It relates to the rights and entitlements of the mortgagee. That's the entity that lends sums to the borrowers. Now, it can create some serious consequences for borrowers under this area of contract law. So our sunrisers need to be very careful traversing this issue.
All right, so in terms of the stipulations under the law, I mean, is there room for unforeseeable circumstances? What can persons who are in a situation draw on?
Well, there are limited avenues available in law for addressing an issue of this nature. Now, the first thing you can anticipate is that the financial institution will give you some form of notice before they act.
Yes.
But acknowledging that they can act once you are in default is the starting point for any person who has fallen into delinquency. Now, I can discuss some of the avenues available to them to address this type of default, but I think paying close attention to what the financial institutions can do is a great starting point. And those financial institutions have a number of avenues that they can use to tackle a delinquency situation. That includes exercising power of sale over mortgage property. It includes foreclosure if the power of sale is unsuccessful, or it includes commencing a lawsuit, legal action in the Supreme Court or in the parish court to recover the debt. Now, these can be very serious consequences for borrowers, so they need to mind them carefully.
So we've laid out all of those. The person who is watching this right now, who knows that we're singing their tune. They are currently sitting in a position of delinquents. What do they do next? What's their next immediate step?
Good. So the immediate step is to consult with a legal advisor of their choosing. They need to consult with a legal advisor to determine if there's any avenue that could be adapted or any avenue that can be explored to address the situation. Those avenues include negotiating with the financial institutions, seeking some form of refinancing, for example, or exploring some debt relief. Some financial institutions, like the Student Loan Bureau, has premised that they will open the option for redistribution of the loan across a different term, which could have the benefit of reducing loan payments, or they could grant a waiver. I know the executive director of the Student Loan Bureau declared just January of this year that they will accommodate individuals who've fallen behind on their loans in these different ways. So those options are available. The renegotiation with the financial institution to see if they can restructure the loan in a more favorable manner, make the payments more manageable. Refinancing, if it is a property that has greater value than the debt, they can refinance the property with the institution and gain some relief in that way. Or some other form of waiver may be offered in a discretionary manner. They may decide to waive some of the interest, and that can also shorten their loan payments.
Is there any significance of, for instance, in one instance, the 3 months, in another instance, the 4? Is there any significance of that being a threshold for anything? Because, I mean, suppose it was 2 or 6 or 5,
Yes.
you know.
It is very significant, but in relation to mortgaged property is where it really shines through. For mortgaged property, if the default is 1 month long, the institution can issue a statutory notice before exercising power of sale. So a statutory notice simply says to the borrower, to the property owner, that you are now in default for 1 month or more. If you do not clear this loan within 30 days, we can sell the property. And we can sell it even if you're still in the property.
I didn't realize it was 1 month. You know, I always thought, I don't know where this came from, but I always thought 3 months was the point where they're just like, hey, We got to talk.
So it's really a matter of the terms of the mortgage agreement.
Got
So
you.
standard mortgage agreements provide for 1 month of default before statutory notice can be issued. There are mortgage agreements that would provide for a lengthier periods. And I can say in practice, the institutions won't jump at the issuance of the statutory notice. They may take a bit of time, even if they have a 1 month window. Now, the fact that varied months are relevant in this area arises in relation to foreclosures. Foreclosures only take place after 6 months of default and power of sale after 1 month. The difference between the two is quite stark. And I know your viewers may wish to get advice on these areas because they're very interesting and they're very pertinent to these types of default. But simply put, the exercise of power of sale allows the borrower to recover some balance of the debt if the property is sold and there is a balance remaining, and foreclosure doesn't.
Right.
They may simply lose the property outright.
So if you've been paying your mortgage for 8 years and then you fall on some hard times, there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
That's right.
In terms of between sale and foreclosure.
That's right. So the exercise of power of sale, simply put, if there is $3 million owed on this property and the property is worth $10 million, they can sell it, recoup their $3 million plus expenses and give you the balance. For foreclosure, they simply take the property
Wash
away.
hands. That's it.
Even if the debt was just $3 million and the property was worth 10. So these types of consequences are very serious. They're very severe, and you have to traverse them with proper legal advice.
And in terms of proper legal advice, you recommend that they come to Duncox?
I would say legal advice of your choosing. If you're so motivated, then you may.
All right.
He said, call me. Okay, no, he did not. All right, that was Jonathan Morgan, partner at Duncox Attorneys at Law. On the other side of the break, it's a real estate conference and expo that you won't want to miss. So please stay with us. We'll be right back here on Sunrise.